So after a few years of hard off-roading, these cheap fender flares are ready to be replaced. These were a metal upgrade from the stock plastic, but as you can see, this thin metal, you can get these things off a line for $150 or so. They're just beat up, ready to go. This Jeep here belongs to my buddy Jim. Jim's a hard off-roader, always out getting the trails real hard, banging into stuff, so he needs something a little bit better. So he is still on a budget, so he went with these Amazon. Basically, it's the same as like a rough country metal flare, so it has a metal tube, so it'll be a little bit stronger than what was there. They're maybe not quite as good as like a Poison Spider where there's a backer inside the fender, but definitely better than these thin metal flares that a lot of people are running nowadays. So I'll just walk you around the Jeep so you guys can see how beat up these things are. Yeah, they've definitely seen better days. These fenders have got to go. This Jeep sees too much action to run these flares. Might be fine for someone that's a mall crawler, but this Jim needs something a little more stout. You can also see how at your Amazon bumper, I actually welded this bar on for him because his one that came on the bumper got ripped off in the early days of this bumper a couple years ago. So here's the instructions that are included with this. I went ahead and I did the fronts first. Those are all done now. Next I'll be moving on to doing the rears here. But instructions are halfway decent for what it is. Basically these front flares are held in. A lot of these other companies use a Zerk nut on all the bolt holes. On these fronts these actually get bolted in. So it's Allen and 12 millimeter on the back nut. So a little bit hard fishing your fingers up in there, but it's not too terrible. Okay, so onto the rear now. Again, like I said earlier, we're going to end up having 8 Zerk nuts, and then the 2 centers are going to be a direct bolt in. The hardware that was supplied with this was supposed to be an 8 millimeter, but it turned out to be like a 5/16, so I ended up having to go up to the store and buy quarter 20 Zerk nuts. That was about $4 for a pack of 12, and then I just had another reason I went with quarter 20s because it's easily accessible. I actually had a package of these laying around, 1 1/4 inch quarter 20s. So we'll end up using these for where the 8 Zerk nuts are, and then we're going to just use the other hardware we had before for the centers like we did on the fronts. So the holes that are here in the body, I've already pre-marked with some purple tape, kind of just held the fender up there and poked it through to kind of make sure I'm drilling the right holes. It's I believe a 30 seconds drill bit. Just basically going to open these holes up a little bit so that way the Zerk nut will fit in there okay. So I'm going to show you, we're going to go ahead and drill these holes. So chalk that up. And we'll start over here and work our way to the left. Doesn't really matter which ones, we'll just kind of drill them, open them up. Alright, now that we got the holes all drilled, we're going to go ahead and move on to using the Zerk nut tool in the 6 holes that we're going to put Zerk nuts into. So this tool here comes with different heads. This is the 1/4-20 head, since we're putting 1/4-20 bolts in with 1/4-20 Zerk nuts. These Zerk nuts here have a shoulder on them. That shoulder is going to face towards the gun, so that just threads on to normal. Thread it all the way down with your gun in the open position. Obviously that's closed, that's open. So take that all the way down. You got this grip right back here. You're going to grip, twist that on. So this is really easy. All you do is you just stick this in the hole. Make sure that shoulder is seated all the way against your sheet metal, and then you're just going to squeeze this handle, which does take some force, until it stops. Then from there, all you do is let go of the handle and twist to the left, threading that back out of that Zerk nut that's in there. That's all the way out. And you can see it looks nice in there, makes a nice spot to go. Here's our other holes that got to be done yet. So I'll move on and we'll do the other 5 that need to be done left, and then we'll hang this fender.